How does embedded industry will affect after introduction of AI?
Introduction of AI has been there, and if you ask for ChatGPT 4 or the recent Gemini, if you ask for code to give an embedded code, it will definitely give you. So, but the code is not 100% correct.
So, what message would you like to give to the job seekers who are currently searching for a job in embedded?
I would like to classify into two categories. Like if the college is providing good training on embedded and real estate from the third year, do it.
So let's first start with your brief introduction.
Hello, I'm Sailesh. I'm 2019 passer from Vienna Vignan Jyoti under the stream of electronics and communication. After that, I took some time to gate coaching, and later I wasn't able to crack the gate, so I started preparing on my own. And then I've got into, I've got offer letter from few companies such as Capgemini, Cognizant, but that was taking too long to give me the offer letter. The date of joining. The offer letters were already there, but the date of joining was so delayed, as you know what happened in the post-COVID era. And then so it was taking so much of time, so I thought that I know since I already know what happens in the core industry. I'm prepared for gate, so I thought of okay, let's try in the core itself only. And then I've started embedded systems training. That was 6 months course. And then I've got into, after the training, I've got into Johnson Controls. That's electronics pure core based company. Yeah, and I've worked there for around 1.5, I guess. Yeah, 1.5. Now, currently, I'm on the study leave. I'm pursuing my master's in Symbiosis University, M.Tech in embedded systems. So that's what.
Okay, cool. So you didn't join Cognizant, right?
No. Cognizant, Capgemini, the offer letters were, I got the offer letters earlier. The date of joining, I got when I was working in Johnson Controls. That much it got delayed. Around 6 months to 1 year, it got delayed, the date of joining.
Okay.
So I thought no point in wasting time in there.
That's true.
Mm.
So you are which year pass out?
I'm 2019.
2019. Okay, cool. So after that,
Yes.
you gone for the embedded training, right?
Yes. Embedded systems training.
Okay, and so how long it took?
It was around 6 months course.
Mhm.
If you There was placement opportunity as well in the course, so you could say around it was 6 to 8 months complete. I got the placement from there only.
Uh-huh.
The first 6 months was course. The next 2 months were a kind of placement.
So after that, you got a placement in Johnson, right?
Johnson Controls, yeah, Hyderabad.
Okay. So like, why did you left then? Because uh, people have a dream to work in a core company, especially in embedded system or a VLSI.
I would say that because the main reason I took electronics in my UG was because I was interested in electronics.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought of getting into core only because I was interested in SOCs and how the processor and everything works right from my inter days itself. So I thought that if I want to get into some job, that has to be core only. And you can see that the core has a lot of stability when compared to IT. IT is like kind of a sine wave; it goes high and low. But you can see that core is like a stable thing. Even though if you get there are no resistance or something that won't hit you in the core, and the growth might be a little slow and that. But I'd say that I would prefer stability than discontinuity.
Okay. And so now you are pursuing a master degree, right? So it's
Yes.
okay. So like you are from which place?
I'm from Hyderabad itself.
Okay. And you are doing masters from Hyderabad itself or somewhere
No,
else?
I'm doing from masters in Symbiosis University, which is in Pune.
Pune, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
right now you are in Pune.
Right now my semester has been completed, so
Uh-huh.
I came back to Hyderabad for semester holidays.
Okay, cool. So I think Symbiosis is mostly like it's famous for the MBA, right?
Yes.
So you are pursuing masters in embedded
M.Tech.
systems.
M.Tech, yeah. There is,
Okay.
the main reason I chose Symbiosis because there is a special course called model-based design and model-based development, which they're including in their second semester.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be helpful for me getting into automotive embedded domain. So like very few universities are having this kind of course.
Mm.
So if I want to get into automotive embedded domain, like currently how ZF, Aptiv, and other automotive companies are being targeted towards.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that whatever the course curriculum is apt for my future career. So
Mm.
I thought that it's okay. Let's try that, because however I wanted to do master,
Okay.
and that didn't happen because I wasn't able to connect the gate at certain point of time. So I thought it okay. I have the job itself and I have some time. Why not? Let's do it both.
That's true.
Mhm.
So, like, for how many years you work in the Johnson?
It's 1.5 right now.
Mm-hmm. So you
Mhm.
just left, right? Now you're pursuing a
Yeah,
master.
yeah, yes, yes. Recently I left. It's only the
Mhm.
4 months I left.
Okay, cool. So now, like, it's your first semester, right? You have completed your first semester. Now
Yes,
you
the
will
first
be.
semester is complete.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what difference you find, like you are doing a master and the BTech you did? So what difference you find in the those subject as compared to like you are
Mhm.
doing a master's?
See, BTech is like you'll have only introduction to what you're doing and what are the courses. I mean, all the prerequisites of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like masters is something you're focusing on one particular domain, right? Suppose my master's in now M.Tech and embedded systems. So I'll understand what is embedded C in depth. I'll understand how ARM processors and microcontrollers work. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in BTech we do just have an overview, but in this MTech based thing, we'll have a lot of projects and a lot of research based learning. You'll see how a research paper works, how survey paper works. If you wanted to publish a technical paper, how those things work, and a lot of other workshops you do attend and some of the industry visits you go. That will help me attain more industrial knowledge when compared to BTech. In BTech, will have a lot of subjects and a lot of things on your head to control. It's MTech, you're only focusing on one domain and you know what to do.
That's true.
That's
That's
the
true.
main difference, I'd say.
Yeah. And talking about like how this is different from the training you did in embedded.
Yeah, training in embedded was like they were teaching all the prerequisites of embedded systems and everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost, I mean, I would say that's not the almost same. In training, they'll cover you like what is required for the industry perspective. And in 6 months, I'd say that you can learn a lot of things, like what is required for the industry to go and work. That would be covered in training. But apart from that, if you want to get more deeper knowledge about other domains in embedded, if you want to explain more, if you want to do projects on your own, or if you have any ideas of patent or anything else, like if you want to do on a bigger scale, I would say that masters would be a better choice. And you never know, maybe if you're doing good in your masters and if your papers get published, you might continue for PhD as well. So I'd say that I'll take it one step at a time. Right now I'm doing what I like. If it
Mm-hmm.
continues, if I'm doing, I mean, if I'll do it more and if I'll kind of publish more papers and everything goes good, I might think of PhD as well.
Okay, so you are more interested in learning things rather than just
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
cool, man. Okay, so what will be the roadmap if a job seeker like who is currently in the final year want to get a
Uh-huh.
job or pursue their career in embedded system?
If it's for core, I'd say that if it's in final year, probably you should start his preparation from second year or first year itself. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's for you, I mean, first year is like we don't know what's happening in the building. In the first 1 year goes like that only. So from
Yeah.
second year, if he starts learning basic C programming is required, I'd say, because for embedded systems, the main thing is embedded systems is we work on very limited memory constraints and everything, and the power dissipation and everything has to be low. For that, an efficient programming language would be C. So if you are doing Python or machine learning, that you can't do on embedded systems because you'll have very limited amount of data. Those things are done when you have huge amounts of data.
Mm,
So anyone who wants to get into core would be first to get a good practical knowledge on C and C and data structures. Data structures, I would say, up to if you know what is a linked list, what is a stack queue, that would be fine for the initial thing. And do some projects on Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or STM32 boards. Explain more tools. I mean, there are a lot of tools recently I've known, which I didn't know even during my BTech. So explain, do more kind of research on tools, do some projects, and have sound knowledge on C programming. That I would say. Don't go for how many languages I've learned. Don't put 20, 30 languages on resume and say that, oh, I'm good in everything. I'd say that go for two, three good languages and attain proficiency in that. So that do projects on that only. If someone asks that, why do you have only learned two or very few languages, you can say that whatever learned, I've done some projects on it and I'm good at it. So even
mm,
though if someone goes to a very minute depth of the interview levels, you can still answer them.
okay. So like
Mhm.
it is compulsory to do a like embedded training or if means they
Mhm.
can get a job by just completing their BTech.
For core, I would say like currently, I don't know what are the colleges they are offering. I mean, what training the colleges are being offered. See, because core is getting a core job is not that easy. Like,
Mm,
I'm not
true.
depreciating any IT or anyone like that. But see, for IT is like you'll have a placement training in the college itself. They'll teach you C programming and other stuff, and they'll make you sit for company.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever the mass hiring companies are, it might be TCS, Capgemini companies, and for that I'd say that 2 3 months would be more than enough. In that 1 month you'll go for aptitude and 2 months you'll go for basics of C and everything. And the master grading companies mostly see that okay, how is he good in basics or is he able to learn something? Because they'll be providing the training right once you join in the
Mm,
company. But in the case of core, it is not like that. They expect you to be a trained fresher. They won't say that when you join their company, they won't teach you anything extra.
mm-hmm.
So right now, I don't know how the colleges are being offered training for in terms of core, but I would say that even though if college is not offering, you could learn on your own, MBC or something else, and you can get into core industry. Like proper 6 months would be fine right before the placements. Prepare a roadmap, understand your weakness and strengths, and do some projects on that simultaneously. Once you do a course on C or embed C, search for some projects. It might be on STM, it might be on Arduino, it might be on Raspberry Pi. Do some projects and attain the knowledge what industry is seeing. Suppose if someone asks what is a UART protocol, don't say that like a normal definition that it is used to transmit and communicate data.
Mm,
That is like a normal definition. If you do a project on that and explain how the data is being transmitted, is it through LED, is it through something else? How is it being done? So if you do a project and what you're learning, that would be sufficient, more than sufficient.
yeah, that's true. Like mostly, if he or she can easily learn, like Arduino is the basic one, which we can say. If he go
Yes,
for
yes.
the C, then he can learn Arduino, a basic microcontroller. Then he
Yes.
can go for the STM microcontroller.
STM, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this thing, like, if from where you have learned, like, is there any resource, free resource, or is there any paid resource?
All right. As I said, coming to embedded C training, I've learned from one of the institute, Colonel Masters, which is at Hyderabad only. That is a
Okay.
paid institute.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone is looking for learning courses, there are a lot of good courses in Udemy as well by Fastbit Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Those will get in 399 or something. There might be overall 7 or 8 courses you can purchase and get an STM32 board and get one Arduino board. Arduino is for just if you want to understand how electronics work, the basic
Yes.
electronics, how does it work,
Mm.
LEDs, resistors, and everything. Once you're good in Arduino, you can go for STM32 or any microcontroller based board. You can do start projects on that. Udemy is like fine, like for any fresher if you want to do some projects and attain good knowledge. Udemy courses are very good.
That's true. And what about like the 8051 microcontroller in the industry, or
Ah,
like it's just a
8051, yeah, like 8051 is very old one right now.
yeah.
Even see, if you want to learn STM32, 8051 would be a building block for you. I mean, you
Hmm.
can't straight away learn STM32, right? That would be slightly difficult. So, as a prerequisite, you can definitely go for 8051 and understand what are the components of it, what are the flag register, you can understand the architecture, how does a microcontroller work, what are the
Hmm.
power modes, sleeping mode, and everything you can understand from that.
Okay. So means
Mm.
microprocessor subject is very important in the BTech if you want to get into the
Yes, yes,
embedded
very
field.
important. That's
Right.
very,
And
very
apart
important.
from
I was afraid of that subject in BTech, but
uh
later I've converted that into my strength
strength.
only.
Yeah, that's good, man. And talking about
Uh,
like apart from this, like what are the subjects which one should keep like to get a job in embedded system?
okay, I would say that for embedded system, you need to have basic electronics like analog electronics and
Mm.
a bit of digital communication, analog communication. Just understand like how electronics works because apart from the electronic components, you wouldn't be using much of stuff. And maybe if you maybe between little communication as well, like sampling, modulation, and everything. Like how does it work?
Signals.
If you're
Yeah.
going for DSP related operation, digital signal processing,
Mm.
even DSP is really good because in our first semester we had DSP
Mm.
that was helpful for us.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so DSP, basic electronics, and communication would be fine if you want to get
mm,
into an embedded job.
yeah. So these are the few subjects which you should care of,
Mhm.
like if you want to get into the embedded field. And
Yes, yes.
so do you like signals and systems?
Uh, during BTech, I didn't like that, but afterwards, that was really good subject for me. I
Mm,
learned that. It was really good.
Yeah.
And if you're good at signal systems, you'll automatically understand how DSP works. I mean, it's just a
Mm.
prerequisite of DSP.
Because in BTech, like mostly we don't find the subject interesting, right? If you once we get to know,
Yes,
like, okay,
true.
these subjects are very interesting and it will help in the future. So definitely we
Hmm.
should look over it.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
so which subject in BTech is your least favorite, or we can say you don't like?
During BTech, microprocessors was my nightmare. I didn't
Okay.
understand what was going at that time. So after that, it was all good. Yeah, microprocessor was I didn't like that subject at that time.
Okay. So like, do you got any backlogs in the BTech?
Yeah, yeah, like every other guy, like I wasn't any studious or something of that during my BTech. I had
Uh,
backlogs. I cleared them like right before the placement,
hmm.
right before the photo and everything. So yeah, I had backlogs. I had backlog in microcontrollers as well. I mean the microprocessor as well,
Hmm.
but got it cleared before the placement session.
Okay, so it means backlogs it doesn't affect your placements, right? Until unless you
Yeah, yeah, I mean
clear it
as soon as
before.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right before your placement, you have to clear them at any cost, or else
Hmm.
you might not be able to sit for placement.
Okay, so like, what's your CGPA in your BTech?
My CGPA is 7.
Okay, 7. So like, it
Yeah,
should be on an average, it should be above 6 if you want to get into the any field like
yeah, yeah,
VLSI or
yeah,
embedded.
correct.
Yeah, mostly
I would say
companies.
that like
Mm-hmm.
the right now the calculation is if you're having 7 CGPA, it means you're at 65%. So I would
Mm,
say that anything above 7 or equal to 7 is fine,
yeah.
because most of the companies nowadays they're putting some cutoff like you need to have 7, 6.5 something.
Mm.
Like if you're moving from one of the corporate to other corporate, the CGPA doesn't really matter. But if you're going from
As a fresher.
college placement wise from
Yeah.
BTech or M.Tech, if you're doing CGPA matters to a certain extent. Having 7
Mm,
CGPA is fine, but anything
yes,
less than 7 would slightly put you in a dicey situation which you would want to avoid.
that's true.
It should be like that. You have a lot of skills, but lack of CGPA, you have
Mm,
unable to attend that company. That will leave you
yeah.
a lot of regret.
Yes, they will not allow you to sit in the placement session in the college as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even they can request also they won't allow you. I mean that's how
Mm.
the norm works. You can't really blame anyone for that.
So, talking about the projects, what are the projects you did in your college days?
College days during the BTech, I've done on VLSA project that was based on domino logic.
Okay.
So I've tried to reduce the power consumption of the transistors used by using a domino-based circuit.
Mm-hmm.
During BTech, that was my project. That was mostly on VLSA project. And after that, I've done smart plant monitoring system during my training.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, in my M.Tech first semester, I've learned a new tool called as TouchGFX, which was integrated with STM32.
Okay.
Usually, the microcontroller which we are using will interface with another LCD to display anything of that kind. But this microcontroller was having the inbuilt LCD. So I learned how to interface an inbuilt LCD, and I've tried to implement an overhead tank. Like if you're having an overhead tank, the water level goes to a certain extent. It will indicate as overflow, and the screen turns red, and a message will be sent to your saying that the tank is overflow, and the buzzer will start going. And same for I've put three threshold levels like red, green, and yellow. And depending on that, I've implemented an overhead tank problem on current semester
Okay. So
using STM32 touch GFX.
you are doing water level indicator in your current semester, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So like, why did you use STM microcontroller? Even like if you use the Arduino, that also can work, right? In water level
Yeah,
indicator.
Arduino can also work, but this STM32 was having, as I said, it was the LCD was integrated with within the board itself. Usually, most of the boards don't come with integrated LCDs. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to work with integrated LCDs, there is a separate tool called
Yeah.
as Touch GFX. I wanted to explore more on that tool. So that's the reason I've preferred this microcontroller. So that
Okay.
I would have knowledge on new tool and how to interface on that. And you won't find more videos on that also actually. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of videos on normal STM32, but on this tool, there is less research and less work being done. So I wanted to focus on this domain.
So in your BTech, you did a project on VLSI, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So means you did the reduction of the power
Domino logic
consumption.
design. Yeah, yeah. Reduction on power consumption. Yeah.
So if it is possible, could you please explain like how you did and what are the things required for that?
Uh, right now I don't remember
Remember?
exactly. It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as I remember, I'd say that domino logic is something like in a regular circuit. we are using 2 power n minus 1 comparators. So
Okay.
comparator is something which will compare to voltage level, and depending on the higher or lower, it will assign one level.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using more number of comparators, obviously circuitry will become larger, right? And the power consumption will become larger. So in order to remove that problem, and in order to solve that problem, so we were approaching for domino design. A domino design uses, instead of 2 power n minus 1 comparators, it uses only n minus 1 comparators, so that the power efficiency and the design and the W by L ratio is being reduced a lot. So that was our reason to approach towards domino logic, and which in turn reduces the power dissipation as well.
Okay. Okay. So like it was a hardware based model or like it's a software based model?
It was software based only. We done in VSDL and HDL. We're using
Okay.
VSDL and HDL in that.
BSD and SDL. Okay.
Yeah.
So, talking about your projects in the training period, so you
Mhm.
learn firstly you learn the C in the training, right? C, and after this embedded C,
Yes, yes.
and then you have gone for the projects.
Yes, true.
So okay, so how many projects you did in your that training period?
Training period, I've done two projects. One was on smart plant monitoring system, and other was just it was monitoring temperature and pressure and sending it through MQTT. I mean, to learn what is MQTT protocol, the PubSub protocol. That was a two minor projects which I've done.
Okay, what is that MQTT?
MQTT is basically a low power based protocol, which is used for publishing data to like a server. If you
Uh-huh.
want to send data to a server, we'll use an MQTT protocol.
Okay, so like you did this in the live projects or it was like also in the software?
It was both hardware and software included. It was a combined one.
Okay, combined one. Okay. So you programmed it, the microcontroller through
Yeah,
the embedded C, right? Embedded C language.
yeah. What we have done was in Embed C, it was bare metal programming. In Embed C, we
Mhm.
have two kinds of programming. One is a bare metal one, and one is the Hall level. The bare
Okay.
metal, you write a program, you program literally the every register and see what is working. I mean, how is it being done, and you will do it in Keel software. And
Mm-hmm.
one more is Hall programming, which I've recently learned in M.Tech first semester. In that
Okay.
you have all the inbuilt libraries and everything. You just have to write the user defined code. I mean, whatever you have to write the code, that you have to do it. The other
Mm-hmm.
programming and is done automatically done by selecting the parts. Yeah, that is for Hall programming, and the rest level programming is done through Keel.
Is there any free softwares available in the market? Can you
Yeah, there
name
are
any of
the
them?
Keel. Yeah, the Keel and STM32 are free softwares only. They're open source softwares only. You just have to log in through your mail ID, and you'll get the software to your email,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just get hands on it. That's it.
Okay. So these are the software which anyone can use. Okay.
Yes,
And
yes.
talking about the industry standard tools, can you name any of them?
Industry standard tools like for embed C would be for us. I would say that separately, two tools you need to have a clear. JTAG is one used for debugging,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to have a good idea on, because see, the code is available on the internet. It might be for IT or it might be electronics and everything. The code is available everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, no one is typically writing the code and saying that I have done something new. That doesn't exist in today's date. But
Mm.
I would say that debugging is very important. There are JTAG and SW. I mean, yeah, JTAG is one of the good debugging tool in the STM32 only, that will go make you go line by line. If you understand what is your code doing, and if you make some changes in the code, and if you try to make and break some things, and you'll see how it is working, that would be really good. So instead of coding, I mean, coding is essentially required. I'm not saying coding is not required at all, but apart from coding, you have to have proper knowledge on debugging as well, because software people, they don't do that much of debugging
Mm.
as far as I know. But being a core person, we need to compulsory understand how debugging works.
Yeah. Because like being a whether VLSI or embedded engineer, you should know both the
Mm-hmm.
things. Like even if
Yeah,
you write the code, then also you have to debug it or test it.
debug it. Yeah,
Yeah, whether it's working fine or not.
because if you go to some other company and you won't have your written code there, right? You'll have
Yeah.
someone's code there. You have to understand and debug it in case
Yes.
something goes wrong.
This is like we have to do everything by our own. So now what's like you already told about your future plans, like you want to do a PhD after if you are not getting into the industry, right?
Yes, yes. If not industry, I'll definitely go for PhD.
Okay, cool. So after PhD, what will be your plan? Like, have you thought about it?
Uh, that's too far-fetched right now, but I'd say that maybe as the PhD progresses, I'll get some idea what's going on, and
Mm,
I think like I'm interested in teaching also. Like I usually teach my few of the juniors, like if they're having any
okay.
placement sessions or something, like I'll tell them what to do and what not to. So अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो teaching तो चलेगा बस.
Yeah, सही है. Let's take a last question. So,
Okay.
how does the embedded industry will affect after the introduction of AI?
Right now, I'd say that introduction of AI has been there, and if you ask for ChatGPT 4 or the recent Gemini, if you ask for code to give an MBC code, it will
Mm,
definitely give you. So, but the code is not 100% correct. The
mm,
AI is getting there, but since there is a lot of dependency on the boards and everything, you can't get an accurate code on it. But I'd say that it's somewhere coming close to it. So maybe in the future we might see there is a new thing which is coming called as embedded machine learning. They
mhm,
are trying to integrate machine learning and AI into embedded systems as well. So
okay.
whatever the microcontrollers we are like right now we are having a microcontroller that is going to be replaced by FPGAs in few years.
Mm,
Now even the FPGAs can be programmed through AI. So I would say definitely it's going to replace. It's not like nothing is going to happen, but it'll take some time. Probably next 5-10 years down the lane, you could see even AI taking over embedded.
mm.
But
Like most of the coding
if
things.
yeah, but that can't scratch you or I mean that can't debug your skills, right? That can't
Mm,
debug something. But debugging and everything, you have to do it on your own. Like, see, code is available everywhere, but the debugging, the main thing for an embedded system is like debugging and understanding how it works.
mm,
So that skill, no one can snatch it away from you. So as long as you're having that and you're having ability to learn new things. Maybe even embedded system, we might also learn AI or ML in upcoming days. You
mm.
never know.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm thinking to do a project which requires ML as well, like plant
Mhm,
disease detection. I'm making a standalone project
mhm,
which could do automatic power, which could do automatic irrigation, and as well as it'll tell me what is the status of my plant by using ML, CNN,
yeah.
and other algorithms as well. So
Mhm.
at some other point of time, it is going to be integrated. You can't run away from it, but you have to keep learning. That's the only thing. Everything is going
Yes.
to be takeover. You can't stay away from anything.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's come to the end of the session. So, what message would you like to give to the job seekers who are currently searching for a job in embedded or any code job?
Any code job would be, I would say, I would like to classify into two categories. Like if a college is providing good training on embedded and VLSI from the third year, do
Mm-hmm.
it. Do not take it as kind of some normal classes and don't try to bunk and skip it. But if they are arranging something good training for you on embedded or VLSI, do it with your pure heart because that will help you to get a good job. Or else, I'm a classic example. Like there were courses who were taught for us during our BTech also. They were, I mean, it's not like our college didn't do it. They were helping for us for embedded and VLSI. But as me being a BTech guy, and that during that mindset and maturity, I was like, क्या ही जाएंगे इस course पे? We can have fun or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're having that kind of things, definitely go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're not having also, as I said previously, go to Udemy, purchase some courses, get a board, and start doing things on your own. Hardly takes 6 months to get good knowledge on it.
Mm-hmm.
So even though if you're having last 6 months or 3 months of time, you can still get a good job, I'd say.
Yeah, great. That's a great insight given by you, Sailesh. And I hope that the student who are currently seeking for the job will work on their skills. And like, I don't want to end this session right now. Like, I want to talk more. It was great talking to you, and thank you for joining in.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So
Okay,
see
okay.
you soon. Take care and bye bye.
Definitely,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you.